How would you answer a question about noise on the property?
Yeah, when you say noise on the property, can you give me a specific example of the question? Is it coming from a renter? What's going on there? And by the way, did you see how I did a power question there to dig into that more?
Okay, the prospect was wondering if there were children around the different apartments that I'd shown him, and he was wondering, you know, if they made a lot of noise, or, you know, how noisy the neighbors were.
Yeah, now can you give me a specific, I totally get it, makes perfect sense. As with any apartment community, we're going to have children, there's going to be, you know, people making some degree of noise, but I'm just curious because that's not something that I hear a lot, you know, from our residents. Can you kind of unpack for me what's going on with your current situation that's kind of making you ask that question?
You were just giving an example of what we should say, right?
Yeah, but did you see how I skillfully navigated that?
Yes.
Let's walk this back because this is important, right? Most of the time,
it's more into their ballpark to get what, like you said, to find out what's going on with them as far as that's concerned. So thank you.
Yeah, let me unpack this though for everybody else and for yourself. Okay, this is important to understand. Okay, this is a CLC, Certified Leasing Consultant, not a CLS, Certified Leasing Salesperson, or Certified Leasing Slimy, or Certified Leasing Manipulative. And I know none of us want to be salesy, slimy, or manipulative, but what ends up happening is we create these adversarial tit for tat back and forth with our prospects. And we take it personally when somebody asks a question like, and by the way, that question's way off base, especially in terms of fair housing. Oh, I saw some kids over there. You know, talk to me about what's going on at the noise. We get defensive, right? This is where, like to my point with us being a doctor, it's not about us, it's about the patient. And it's about them feeling more comfortable. But then at the same time, I don't want to give a traditionally salesy answer of what they would expect me to say. We don't have any noise, right? By the way, you can't control that. So this isn't about you. Here's what you have to realize. When somebody asks a question like that, it's not about you. It's about what's going on in their life right now. Okay? Nobody is like, yo, it's Monday. I got the day off. I think I'm gonna do some side work for the federal government and do my own personal census on noise levels at apartment communities. They are not there to research noise level at apartment communities. They are there because they're not sleeping at night. They are there because something's going on at their current place. So when they make that conversation about yourself, say, I totally get it, right? As with any apartment community, as with any, I just went through this in a live event in St. Louis. They had some murders there, right? As with any downtown property, there's going to be crime. Don't say it's not there if it's not, it's there, right? It's normal. People make noise. As with any apartment community, people make noise. Now listen to my tonality, watch my face, right? You know, I'm curious that you would ask that because that's not something I typically hear in my leasing office. See how now I'm answering the question with, we don't have a lot of noise complaints, but I'm answering it in a non-salesy, non-slimy, non-manipulative way. I'm answering that in a way of genuine curiosity of like, why would you bring that up, right? Like if you were in a relationship with your wife or your husband or your partner and they brought some wackadoo question like, are you doing drugs or something that's totally out of form with you? You'd be like, why are you asking that, right? Well, I saw that package from Amazon and it said poppers in it. Yeah, those were the poppers for the kid's birthday party. Do you think Amazon is selling drugs now? My bad, right? Oftentimes there's some confusion there, so approach it the same way you would in a situation like that. You know, that's interesting that you brought that up. As with any apartment community, you know, we do have children, we do have families there, we do have stuff going on, but you know, noise is not something I typically hear in the apartment community. Just out of curiosity, why do you ask that question? Like, what's going on with where you're at right now? Now you're taking somebody that's potentially adversarial, and you guys, instead of you like face to face, why would you say that? We don't have that. Now you're both looking at the problem together. Man, why would you ask that? Why would you ask that about what's going on with your property right now? Oh my God, it's terrible where I'm at right now. Mirror 'em. Terrible where you're at right now? Yeah, and there's these kids and doomch, 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 loud car stereos every night. Man, what's going on? Is that affecting your sleep? Yeah. And even worse, like last Sunday, I got into an argument with them. I went down there in the middle of the night in my boxer shorts. That was embarrassing. I started dropping F-bombs. They started dropping F-bombs back at me. And I woke up the next morning and all 4 tires on my car were slashed, right? And I don't really feel safe where I'm at right now, right? It was $2,500 to buy new tires for my car. They had to take it away on a flatbed. I don't mean to be badgering you about the noise. I want to feel that I live at a property where I'm welcome. I want to feel part of a community. I don't want to feel like I'm in the middle of a freaking war zone. Man, I totally get that, right? And that's something that we're really proud of. And listen to my tonality. Listen to how my inflection is now coming down. Something that we're really proud of at our community, right? Does it make sense for us to look at? I've got some units over in the building on the furthest side of the community there, and because of the fact that you told me you've got some, it sounds like there may be not even people that live at your community, but they're parking cars. The neat thing about that side of the property is there's no streets nearby. There's no place for anybody to really park a car. You know, it's not the best for some of our residents. Like we've got a couple residents that have, you know, issues where they can't go up the stairs and things like that, and they need a handicap space like right next to their unit. With the parking situation over there, you're not going to be able to park directly next to your unit, but for somebody like you that's mobile and fine there, this could actually be kind of the ideal setting that you're looking for. It's more tucked away. Does it make sense for us to head on over there and take a look? Right? Yeah, man, that sounds great. Now you've turned a potentially adversarial person into your friend. Same thing with budgets, guys. This is another area we screw up. Somebody goes, well, you're not in my budget. You guys, oh my gosh, $1,200? That's crazy. My budget was $1,000. Well, sorry, I can't help you. Or we're priced right. And we get into these arguments. Stop it, right? I'm not saying literally turn sideways. I'm trying to psychologically show you. Instead of going back and forth with them, both of you look at the problem together. That sounds like this. You know, you guys are insane, $1,200. My budget's $1,000. Got it. Makes total sense that your budget's $1,000. Just out of curiosity, when you set that $1,000 budget, based on what? Realize, guys, a budget has to be compared to something else. By definition, a budget is not standalone. It has to be compared to other things. So say this. I get it that you set your budget at $1,000. Just out of curiosity, when you came up with that $1,000 number, compared to what? Where you're living at right now, other places that you're looking at, or what you'd expected to pay. This is skillful, certified leasing consultant. Realize it can only be one of those 3 things when a renter says they have a budget. It can be compared to what they're paying right now. It can be compared to other places that they're looking at, least common, or what they'd expected to pay. Let me walk you through those 3. Instead of getting in an argument with them about why they should pay $200 more, ask them more power questions, just out of curiosity, compared to what? Where you're living at right now, other places that you're looking at, or what you'd expected to pay. Oh, well, that's what I'm paying right now. Throw in another power question. Got it. What's your biggest reason for moving? I hate where I'm at right now. Come walk me through that. Yeah, it's too small. My dishwasher is always broken. Leaked water out all over my floor. It smells like mold now because my property management company hasn't done anything about it. The floor is still making squishy noises when I walk past it. There's a funky smell, not in my apartment, just in general around the community. Like I think it was like cursed, like built on one of those graveyards that they did The Exorcist on. And oh yeah, I got one window in my entire apartment. Got it. Man, that sounds awful. Yeah, tell me about it. In terms of the maintenance, the smell, you know, it being small, them not fixing anything, or the one window, if you had to pick, like, what would you say is the most important yet all of those? Man, just to being small and being dark, right? I need a bigger place, right? Now this is crazy, but y'all need to save your renters from themselves. Okay? My wife, her best friend, she's married to a great guy now. Zach, if you're watching, I love you, brother. But he's married to Teresa. And before Teresa found Zach, she would do the same things your renters do. She would call my wife at 2 o'clock in the morning crying, I had the worst date of my life. I wish I never met him. He's an alcoholic and he threw me out of his car. And I wish I never met him at that axe throwing bar. I'm going back to the axe throwing bar tomorrow night to meet a special guy that cares about me. Want to go with me? It's like, we do the same stupid ass things over and over again, expecting different results. Definition of insanity. I can't believe your place is $1,200. My budget's $1,000. Now you can't say, don't be a dumbass. You hate where you're living at right now because you're spending $1,000. You deserve to do better. You can't say that. But what you can do is ask power questions. Got it, what's your biggest reason for moving? I hate where I'm at right now. Walk me through that. Give me a specific example of that. In terms of this, can you walk me through a specific example? Right? Because of the fact that you told me this, this, and this, you need more space. You need more lighting. You need a maintenance team that's going to be responsive. By the way, I'd love to introduce you to Jesse before you leave. He's the captain of our maintenance team, right? We put a little C on his jersey because he's that good. Right? I'd love to meet you. Jesse would love to meet you personally. Jesse is going to be shocked. His jaw is going to hit the floor when he hears about a dishwasher dripping for over a day, right? This is the kind of stuff that Jesse wakes up at night screaming in nightmares about, right? But here's the thing. In order for you to get you the space you need, the lighting that you need, a team like Jesse supporting you, the better community without the smell, the responsiveness, we're going to be at $1,200 a month. Does it make sense to sign the lease and get you into a place that you actually love living at? Right? And instead of arguing with them over price. Okay? That was a fantastic question. That was a long answer. But it's like, gosh darn it, important for you guys not to hear just the answer, but to hear the flow. I am not teaching you to be witty. I am not teaching you to be clever. I am not teaching you to be the person with all of the answers. I'm teaching you to give a crap about your residents. I'm teaching you that whenever they ask you questions, don't take it as somebody throwing a punch at you. Take it as somebody asking you for help, right? And walk them through. Figure out your understanding of their situation. It's okay for you guys to say, listen, I just want to be clear, right? Just out of curiosity, when you say the dog park's the most important thing to you, or just out of curiosity, when you say you want to see the dog park first, why's that? Thinking, instead of saying, oh, how many fur babies do you have? Right? That's awful. There's a time and a place to use the word fur babies. That is after somebody goes, I have a pug and I drive it around in a stroller. Oh, what's your fur baby's name? Appropriate use of fur babies. What do you want to see first? Dog park. Oh, how many fur babies do you have? Unskillful, slimy, and salesy commission breath. Because that conversation could very easily happen like this. What do you want to see first when you get here? Dog park. Got it. Just out of curiosity, why do you want to see the dog park first? Right? Oh, man. I'm kind of embarrassed to say. Oh, talk to me. What's going on? Yeah, where I'm at right now, we got a dog park, and my apartment's like right next to it. I'm kind of allergic to dogs, but it's more than an allergy. When I was a kid, we had a golden retriever, and the dog bit me pretty bad on my face, and my parents put it to sleep, and I still have a ton of anxiety every time I see dogs, and it's just just brings up a lot of bad emotions. And like, the fence at the dog park where I'm at right now, it's like a swinging door thing, and literally, like, I have dogs running into my apartment. And like, I know it sounds stupid, but like, it's a really difficult thing for me. That does not sound stupid at all. I get where you're coming from. Why don't we do this, right? Like, if you're comfortable, I am happy to walk you by the dog park first, right? We'll get as close or stay a distance as much as possible. I'd like to introduce you to Jesse, who's part of our services team here at the community. I'd like Jesse to talk to you about the strides that we go to make sure that door's closed. Of course, I can't guarantee that it's closed all the time. What I'd like to do is focus on the other side of the community as far away from that dog park as possible. Fair enough? Yeah, man, I really appreciate it. Now that's your lease to lose. Guys, slow down in the beginning and you will speed up the results in the end. I promise you that. The way people rent apartments has changed. Today's renter has access to more information. Today's renter has more choices. The apartment industry needs you. Studies have shown that moving is the most stressful life event. The old sales training, well, it just doesn't work today. I'd like to teach you how to take the stress out of leasing apartments in a way that's meaningful to you and your renters and get you 7 times more leases. I'll show you how the perfect leasing process works. I'm gonna walk you through everything from answering the phone to closing the lease. I'm gonna show you how to determine your prospects' wants and their needs so that you can build value in your apartments. You will learn how to handle any objection or complaint. I'm gonna show you how to connect with your renter so it's easy for them to rent with you. I've taught the best property management companies and thousands of people just like you how to lease apartments. Property management is complicated. I'll simplify it for you. There's more competition than ever before. I'm gonna show you how to be number one. All of a sudden, your career, it's gonna make perfect sense, even if you've never worked in sales or property management before. And for the advanced property manager, I'm gonna show you how to take things to the next level. Leasing University is a new, simple, step-by-step process that's effective. We're gonna help you become a rock star in property management. I'm Matt Easton, and this is Leasing University.